kind of a practice in lying. And I want to try something that involves a little research, but, light on the research. So we're going to do a new segment. St. Louis. St. Louis got a lot of culture. St. Louis has its own culture, really. And we have our own delicacies, kind of like fucking fair food.
There's
I think a lot of our shit is fair food.
Oh, it definitely is. It absolutely is. There's a lot of crackers and cheese.
Kind of like how Wisconsin developed cheese. Cheese was made
cheese
in
hats.
Wisconsin, right?
Cheese hats and Brett Favre.
Then they imported it over to Europe and France with all the stinky ones.
Something like that.
But for our first one, we're gonna do toasted raviolis, and where they came from.
T-Ravs are the shit.
Yeah, T-Ravs. So during all this, I kept seeing T-Ravs, and I've never heard anybody say T-Ravs.
Dude, true story. T-Ravs in an air fryer, probably one of the better things you can get right now.
Yeah, they're a nice snack and everything, but fucking, I've had the problem where I'll eat a toasted ravioli and the crumbs just somehow engulf my throat.
A flat-out bread avalanche every time you fucking open one. It's a travesty.
Yeah, inside and outside the body.
Well, yeah, and you never know what you're going to get when you bite into it. If it's way too hot, you just burn your entire face.
My esophagus turns into sand.
Yeah, it's literally, you're just eating sand and freaking
delicious
granules.
Sandpaper.
Oh, it's so good.
But, so you have the story?
I do, yes.
All right, you want to start the story out?
All right, so I'm reading this thing?
Yeah.
All right, so a toasted ravioli for anyone outside of St. Louis culture is a fried pillow of just lovely, lovely bread and meat, and that's basically it. It's just got a whole bunch of seasonings. It's like Italy in a lovely pocket.
You say Italy in a lovely pocket?
Yeah, I did. I don't know.
All right. That pocket is not only meaty, saucy, but a bit hairy.
It's a little
not French hairy, but hairy.
I mean, it's got a distinct smell. We'll say that. So they're kind of like, what the hell are those things? It's like pizza but inside out. What the fuck are those?
Pizza but inside out.
Yeah, like the big ones. Calzones? Is that what those are?
Yeah, I guess you could say a calzone's like a pizza inside out.
So it's like a calzone, but it's like...
I think a calzone would be more of a pizza inside itself, but...
Well, yeah, I guess it's like a pizza sleeping bag. Is that a better description?
So that's... You've already started on a weird portion. Where is the inside and the outside of a pizza?
Okay, so that's an excellent question. Which way do you usually start eating the pizza? If you eat it at the crust, you're a fucking heretic. If you eat it from the tip, that's what she said, it's delicious and you're a good person.
But then in that sense, the inside out would be a small piece of crust in the middle of it and then pizza all around it.
It would be. That would be like...
Or the entire pizza is crust and then the crust itself is the only topping and sauce part.
Dude, that's fucking appalling. That's basically like a pretzel with a teeny tiny like itty bitty cup of dip. That's nasty.
That's Domino's next special.
Oh dear God, Domino's. Ugh, that's basically stomach acid in... like
Domino's,
pizza form.
The rebels of the pizza world.
Oh my God, I love them. They're delicious. They fuck me up, but I love them. Anyways, fucking T-Ravs are delicious pockets of meat. You dip them in whatever. They come in, like, they actually have cheese ones, I think, as well. It's not just like meat, but they can have cheese in it alone. Never had those ones, but they sound good. Anyways. So apparently they're super popular in St. Louis. You can go damn near anywhere and get them. People think that it was invented in St. Louis. The origins of this fried impasta throw around from it being an old Italian recipe to a mistake developed into a cuisine. So Huh. So these were
So
initially a
this,
mistake.
I think this would be a good time to jump in and actually explain the premise of the show.
Yeah, what the
That
fuck am I doing?
I have one half of this story. So within this first paragraph, I have the full facts and story and everything that would go into it from various articles that are credited.
Okay.
And presenter B, Brandon, he has the same thing but redacted. So he's had to fill in his own facts. He's had to improv or funny lie. And so far, I give a grade and I fact check when I want to. I really just want to fact check you on right now so far that pizza I for the calzone thing.
Yep.
I was thinking more they're really similar to pizza rolls.
Yeah, but pizza rolls are kind of shitty. I didn't want to put them on that same edge because, like, pizza is wonderful, right?
Okay, all right. Pizza rolls are shitty.
Yeah, like, I mean, if you have pizza rolls,
If
you're kind
you-
of at the bottom of the barrel of the snack food, right? Like, you don't
No.
care about yourself. You're just gonna throw some shit in the oven or the air fryer, the microwave, and that's it.
That's what I was just. Pizza rolls are good because they're just like toasted wraps. You can throw them in the air fryer real quick.
We have different standards, my friend.
I have at times deep fried a pizza roll.
I'm so afraid of deep frying stuff. I really don't want to die and like light my entire place on fire. But that fucking air fryer, dude, is like a
Then
gift
don't
from
fall
God.
asleep.
I mean,
Stop falling asleep while you're frying shit.
I'm ADD as fuck, so I will be deep frying something and see a squirrel, and then chase that and come back to nothing.
So, and with all of that, the one thing I haven't explained yet really is that last black bar at the end. That is a bonus black bar. It has bonus redacted.
Oh, dear.
So there may or may not be anything attached to those.
Wonderful. So basically, I have to keep on bullshitting. Let's do this.
Yes.
Okay, hold please. I'm reading the next paragraph.
I think this paragraph is a bit shaky too. It's a bit topical.
There's definitely some words. All right, so fried pasta to throw around from
None of those words are knit.
Whoa! I'm not allowed to say that word. That will get me killed. All right, so most credits for the dish started in a region of St. Louis called The Hill. The Hill is a really, really, really shitty part of St. Louis. Nobody likes it, except for people who like toasted raviolis.
I think that people who live in the Hill.
I mean, they don't even like the hill.
Okay.
They rolled down the hill to get away from the hill. People are moving away because they hate it.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of like Boston. People from Boston don't like to be in Boston. They're just Bostonians, so.
That's awesome.
You got nothing else to do.
All right. So the Hill is an area that was settled way back in the days by a majority of Italian residents. No offense, Italian residents. It derives from the person who actually made the mistake, Anthony Raviti. That man was the shit. He basically did all of the mistakes that turned into this wonderful pillow of hatred, right? Not hatred, of love, of joy, of stomach acid. The area was first a mix of German, Irish, and black before being claimed by an Italian majority. So basically there was a huge gang war, right? All of the Germans, the Irish, and the blacks met in a field and they fought it out.
I gotta tell you right now that it's gotta be the loudest fucking gang war ever.
The loudest fucking what? Oh, the gang
The loudest gang war
Just
ever.
a bunch of people screaming, oh no.
Hey!
Oh, hey, watch it, I'm walking it. I don't know how Italians...
Boy, what the fuck you doing? Hey, badaboo!
And then just people with like 30-inch speakers in their cars. They blew out all the fucking eardrums of everybody else there. Ugh.
And those are the white boy Italians with the several gold chains that have the speakers blowing everything out.
They know how to kill people silently. That's how they ended up getting the T-Ravs, right? Was they were killing a guy with oil They dunked his face in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Yep, they did. They did. And in
The
his
man
mouth,
was just stuffed to the brim with raviolis.
no, it's true. He only had one in his mouth. And when they dunked him in the fucking oil, they brought him out, and that guy was like, you know what? He didn't give me my money. I want my T-Rav. So he took the T-Rav out of his mouth, and he ate that shit, and he was like, this is delicious. Killed the guy. That's how they're the majority, but that's how it happened. So to this day, the Hill holds many Italian prisons, right? Most establishments are relevant to the origin of the toasted ravioli. All of this was made in a prison kitchen. So in
on
that
the hill, yeah.
exactly,
Yeah, okay.
like that was where the gang wars started, right? Like in whatever 14 whatever the fuck, when they were like, we want some food but we don't have it. The 1940s, there we go, it's in the last paragraph, thanks. So they were in the prison.
Hey.
That's where the gang war started.
Yeah. Makes sense.
It's true. So after they ripped the T-Rav out of this dude's mouth, Big Boss Lombardo came out. He's got locations all around St. Louis now, right? He was in prison. They let him out because he paid his bail in fucking T-Ravs. He was able to make a food that was so delicious that they let him out of jail.
He paid his dues in a chewy beef pocket.
He did. That was actually, he gave the recipe to the guards, and because they appreciated it so much, and also because they didn't want to die via deep frying, right? They were like, Lombardo, just go. Just leave this place. Go.
Why do you have so much fucking oil, Lombardo? It's his prison, goddammit!
He just slid right out of the prison.
It's all for my boys' faces. Gross! So, I don't want to do it at the end of every paragraph, but there's some things I want to fact check you on. I do not want to fact check you on what establishments it was made in, because when it comes to me, it's an A+. When it comes to the story, it's A.
Hey.
It's a grade. It's A grade. It's not A. But the hill, it derived from what I know as I read, at least tried to scramble all this up, the highest point in St. Louis, which is right outside the neighborhood. It's not actually the highest point.
It's over by Lime, isn't it?
So they went up there. They were like, nope, this is the hill.
Oh.
The hill's over there.
I don't know.
Yeah, but this is it.
This is the hill. This is the hill that you want to be on. If you want T-Ravs, this is your hill.
This is the hill. That is a hill. That's the biggest hill. Okay, it's a hill.
Oh, Lord. All right.
So
any more fact checks? Because that was a lot. That was a lot of information I threw at you.
that was a lot of information that I'm just going to let roll.
All right. So
It's got legs.
we've got the deep frying Lombardo, right? Lombardo. There we go. Lombardo was the guy. Now, we were going on to the history of Lombardo's. He's got all kinds of places around town now, right? Because all of the military, all the police are afraid of this guy. He still rules St. Louis to this day. He actually lives in the Arch, top floor. True story.
Lombardo delivers my mail.
See? Lombardo delivering mail since the 1940s. So, the thing that he proudly states about his restaurant is, hey, it's that Lombardo gained the recipe from his great aunt. She was the initial person who started to deep fry this guy, because what happened was, initially, she was in Sicily, right? She came over, she had a little dog. That little dog ended up biting the dude who ended up getting deep fried. So he kicked her dog. What kind of piece of shit kicks a dog, right? So she was like, take care of him. This dude's name is Tony Lombardo. She said, Tony, put this guy's face in oil. Dude put his face in oil.
So what you're telling me here is that these people brought over the recipe from Sicily.
Yep.
When or before or after the man was fried?
So it was, obviously, it couldn't have been after because it wouldn't have been made, right? So 1930s when they were, hang on, let me read the rest of this shit.
Hey, you got the juice.
Fuck. Okay, so 1920s, right? They're both chilling over there. He's probably like 10 years old. He's like, I love my aunt. And then they come over, 1930s. This guy's like, I should probably open a restaurant, but I'm in jail and I can't do shit about it, right? So the aunt was there on a visit, because she was visiting, she brought her little dog, right? Because that's Tony's favorite thing. He's always loved that fucking dog. And the guard, it wasn't some guy in prison. It was a guard, right? I completely lied about that other shit. The guard comes over.
Jamook.
Guard comes over, rips the dog out of her arms, and is like, "What is this thing? This isn't an animal." Fucking drop kicks it out the door. So she's like, "Tony, I need you to come out. I need you to take care of this." That started the war, right? That's how the hill was made. He had to get the majority in the prison.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well,
I believe all of it.
All right. So Tony, the dude, boosts that he's got menus from the 1930s listing Tony Ravs. That's what they used to call him, but that's why it was T Ravs. But then he was like, I can't do it Tony Ravs because that's evidence, right? I can't have Tony Ravs out there. They're T Ravs now. Also, can't call.
So
him
he
like,
kind of did that naming thing where it's the toasted Ravs.
Exactly. That is the evolution of the name. Used to be Tony Ravs in prison. Couldn't do that because it's evidence. Now it's T Ravs. All right.
Well, I'm just gonna flat out fact check you on that. That black bar was nothing.
No shit.
But you made it work. You put a shine on that pig.
Hell yeah. All right. So, German. There were a bunch of German people in the prison, right? They were trying to take the credit for this. The German cooks who would have 2 blank boxes, but I gotta fill this shit in. So they initially had the recipe. This is how it all started, right? So the aunt had the recipe. They stole it from her. I don't know how they got it. It was probably through World War I because it was around that time or something. I don't know. But they took the recipe and they were gonna kill Tony in the prison. They were gonna get him.
I do want to say those facts. Fuck you. You are good on those. Any fact that it's not in front of my face, you could tell me, goddamn, geese have 4 wings. Right. It's not in front of my face, I believe you.
Well, I don't know German names, so I'm just going to go with, like, Hans Schnitzel was initially the German cook who wanted that. But
good.
Unfortunately, he wasn't the first. That was my boy Tony, a.k.a. T-Rav. Alright, so that German cook was a dude that worked for the old Donnies, right? It's called Charlie Ghettos on the Hill. So he's still alive. This bro, he's there. He's there. He said
that man's still there?
Yeah.
That old curmudgeonly German?
Exactly. His son was the one that was in there with him that got deep fried. True story. So he also said in the late 40s that he was like the first person to do this. Full of shit. So his place was originally owned by Angelo Oldani. Angelo's pasta house birthed the Toasted Delight, right? That's what they're saying. It was Angelo. That's Tony's brother. They had to put it under his name. Don't ask why. Long story. It was an insurance thing. I got nothing.
No. I gotta tell you this one. Fuck. Angelo, I'm pretty sure it's a woman.
Oh, well, Angelo is her brother. It was a trans thing. I don't know.
Is Angelo a woman?
No, I
think Angelo's a woman.
Are you sure? I don't want to sit here and talk shit about it.
My facts aren't good on this one either.
Oh, well, fuck.
Well, Twitter will tell us someday.
Exactly. All right. So, excuse me. Angelo's pasta house birthed this Toasted Delight. According to this version, there was a separate staffer that took that little pillow. He took one of those. He was making a ravioli, right? Slipped on the blood of another German guy, threw it in the deep fryer. That's how it was made. But
there's just another dead German?
Yeah. No, this is blood. This is all blood money, man. Everything.
He's just bleeding out there.
Well, they're trying to get the majority on the hill, bro. How else are you going to get the hill?
Okay, I guess. I believe you.
You got to take him out, right? So, slipped on the blood. He was a cleaner back in Italy, whatever the fuck. Slipped in some oil. You got T-Ravs. Boom. Same family, right? Angela, Tony, same family. Doesn't matter.
Okay, well, see. Hey, keep your story going. See if your facts check
Oh,
out.
God damn it. Okay, so that's actually a lie. What happened was the waiter at Angela's told...
I like how your improv was like, yeah, completely done there.
Shit.
And then you read the
The
next line.
next sentence. Fuck. Okay,
Tell you what, that's not an A.
so what happened was the German guy, supposedly in this timeline, right? The German guy, his name was T. Ravis Kerschmudgeon, right? T. Ravis Kerschmudgeon was like being a shithead in the restaurant. The waiter said, "Drop some T-Ravs, will ya?" for an order. Instead of boiling water, the cook took the German guy to the kitchen, beat the shit out of him, fried his fucking face too. Same situation. T-Rav in his mouth. T-Rav's mouth had a ravioli in it. Boom. Took it out, ate it. They're brutal.
So far, I'm gathering that there is a lot of just frying people with raviolis in their mouth.
Look, it's the most efficient way to get rid of people in a restaurant that is focused on raviolis, right? What else are you going to do?
One, I want to ask real quick, if you were being boiled alive in oil, would you ever open your mouth?
Okay, first question, is it used oil or is it new oil?
I don't know why that's relevant.
It's not at all. I was just curious because I either want to die clean or I want to die dirty. I don't want to die in the middle, right?
You're dying dirty either way. If you get oil on you, you're just dirty.
Could you imagine fucking breathing in boiling hot oil? That sounds like just...
That's the problem. I think I'd keep my mouth closed.
The best... Well, see, that he was biting the T-Rav. That's why.
Oh, it was mid-bite.
It was mid-bite, so that's how it stayed in there. He didn't want to open his mouth. That was the plug. Okay. So they pulled his face out. He's looking like a deep-fried fucking... What are those things called? Twinkie? There you go, deep-fried Twinkie. Ripped the thing out of his mouth, and because they wanted to teach him a lesson, they ate his lunch.
Well, for that fact, I'm bringing you up to a B for creativity. Still a D on factual. Still a D on factual.
All right. So everybody loved those things so much. Those crunchy, meaty delight pockets that it was added to the menu, right? So that has been on the menu ever since. And true story, once the 100th anniversary comes around, we got 10 years. They are going to deep fry a German, and they are going to take the T-Rav out of the mouth, and it's going to be Lombardo that gets it. He's going to be 140.
I feel like we could, our social economy can cripple that much. 2 deep fried people again in 10 years.
I mean, look, it's an effigy, right? It's not going to actually be a German person, because we got to be sensitive.
Okay. I like that.
It will literally be a dude in what's that like ceremonial shit that German people wear when they're drinking beer? What is that? Lederhosen? Is that what that is?
Yeah, Lederhosen.
Right. So they're gonna put the Lederhosen on. They're gonna build an effigy out of T-Ravs, and in the mouth is gonna be the mortgage for Lombardos, right? The state, because they did such a good job in introducing this food, paid off all their mortgages. Boom.
Huh. Lombardo, you dirty son of a bitch.
Right? Okay. So, Louis Oldani's boys tell a similar story about how the dish was invented, but at their eatery. Shit. So, everything... Fuck. Oddly enough...
Well, no, because it kind of makes sense. Because in the story, there's like 3 different people saying, this is how it was made. No, this is how it was made. Fuck you!
This is all of them just sitting around. It's the 140-year-olds sitting in their little wheelchairs watching the effigy get eaten. Right? That's what's happening right now.
I remember when I made toasted ravioli.
Back in my day, we didn't have T-Ravs. All we had was strife and dirt.
Poor old man.
It's true. All right. Mickey. We're going to get to Mickey. This motherfucker. Garagiola, older brother of Joe Garagiola, who was at the time the mayor of T-Rav Town, which was a separate place that we'll get into later. But he claims that the toasted ravioli was birthed. It was literally birthed from his mom. Immaculate conception from the flying spaghetti monster. Dead serious. Mickey, who was a prostitute himself, said it was a German cook by the name of Olaf McDougan that made the discovery in a tipsy state after fucking an apple fritter. So he was doing the apple fritter.
Whoa, okay, no. Couple facts I gotta drop here. I am glad I got you for this part because you don't know shit about sports. I don't know shit about sports. Joe, guess he's a Hall of Famer.
Oh, yeah, he's a Hall of Famer for fucking fritters, right?
Yeah.
I need you to say that quickly. That's hard.
And Mikey. So get this. It's what makes it even funnier is that Mikey, he was basically a Hall of Famer waiter.
What?
He was a famous waiter in the Hill, which I don't know how that's a thing.
Does he give like a blowjob with every bill?
Oh, sir, would you like dessert? Oh, yeah. Do you have any chocolate cake? No, but I got this chocolate tongue down there, boy.
Leave my dog alone. See, that was how the next gang war started. He tried to blow the dog.
Oh, I thought the dog was dead. But...
Well, no, because it couldn't have been dead. This is another story, right? And this one, they're eating the T-Ravs at Mikey's.
Oh, so the other one was the darkest.
Exactly.
Okay.
Now, Evelyn Oldani, in this case, who is the aunt from wherever the fuck Italy, didn't want to waste profit and attempted to salvage the pasta by sprinkling Parmesan on it. But she knew it was going to get wasted. So what she did was she got her tits out. This saved their establishment, right? So now it's a topless ravioli place. You're not concerned about the burnt confectionery that's in front of you. All you're looking at is Evelyn Oldani. We probably should.
Wow.
We shouldn't.
I am intrigued.
We should not have her fucking real name in here. And I'm talking about her tits out, and this is actual history.
Hey. It's actual history now.
Look. Okay, so she had her boobs out, and the Parmesan, right? It was on the T-Ravs. They were super, super good. Everybody came in, and initially it was just for Evelyn because, my God, that her and Mikey, they did a show. It was disgusting. There was fluids everywhere. It was oily, but it brought in the crowds, right? So, Mikey didn't just want it for lunch, right? He wanted it at his bars because this dude owned all kinds of titty bars around St. Louis, right? They are still here. Hustler, Hollywood, the other ones, Diamond Cabaret, that stupid fucking Boots one that's supposed to be Hooters but for white trash. Like, those were all made by Evelyn.
Hooters but for white trash.
Yeah, it's like...
So what is Hooters then?
Oh, God. That's actually an upper class this thing. Have you seen it on 270? Fucking things with, like, the girls...
Excuse me, ma'am. I would like my Budweiser in a champagne glass, please. Thank you.
They literally just beat the shit out of their wife at the table instead of, like, having the girl trying to get through college and getting tips for this.
Excuse me, sir. What would you like for dessert? I'd like my wife to shut the fuck up.
I'd like you to go to the truck. Oh, Lord. Okay, so everybody at these bars, right?
Spousal abuse.
Everybody at the bars fucking loved it. Lou, Evelyns husband, lived to 103 because of them titties.
A lot of old people in this story.
Well, yeah.
You want to go ahead and get a old fact check?
No, like at the time.
That other guy never lived that long.
No, at the time.
Lou
I was saying
was the man that actually did live that long.
Well, I mean, nobody wants to see 103-year-old titties. Like, I do because I'm curious. I want to know if they're still functional or if they, like, crack like a beehive. But, like...
You know, I don't know how long Evelyn did live. Lou lived to 100.
Right, and
I don't know if Evelyn was there.
He lived with the memories of his wife servicing that many people at their bars, right? So,
nice. He
lived to 103, still said to be caught getting gonorrhea, even at 101 years old. He caught on to gonorrhea and coined the name.
How often can you get gonorrhea? I thought you
can cure it with some
gonorrhea, not
like,
the lifetime one.
Oh no, you get it with like some vitamin N and you're good to go.
Gross.
Yeah.
I'm sad you know that.
I don't know if I know that that's also a lie, but hey, that's how toasted raviolis were made, right? Like, he used that rather than calling them my wife's tit raviolis or, like, Ghana raviolis, or
Ghana raviolis.
exactly, because
Okay.
that was his legacy. He didn't want to call it that. So when all is said and done, he has an empire of bars that are around St. Louis to this day. Every time you see a ravioli, every time you see that, you're thinking of Evelyns titties.
Evelyns tits. Thinking of Evelyns tits. I was on your page with that one. Yeah.
All right.
That's a quick fact check. It's actually what are they? They were called. He didn't want to call them fat fried raviolis
Ugh.
or greasy raviolis.
I would want greasy.
Which, knowing it's an Italian thing, I would take greasy raviolis.
I would just call them G-Ravs, but yeah, it wouldn't.
But greasy raviolis also sounds like
yeah, it
a
does.
slur
It sounds
for
like
Italian
Evelyn.
people.
It sounds like Evelyn. I'm just saying.
Those goddamn greasy raviolis over there.
Like fat fried raviolis. It just sounds like testes. Like it's gross.
Oh God.
Yeah, that I didn't do the research, but that is how toasted raviolis came about.
Okay, so overall, in a creative sense, I'd say there's an A+ on that one, honestly.
Yes.
Because there was a lot of jail.
Yes.
We went from jail to frying people in fat to an old lady's tits.
Evelyn.
That all sold raviolis.
Here's to Evelyn.
And they were all made that way. But when it comes to actually being factual at all, I'd say, what grade? I'd say a negative 100.
Yeah, how do you go from an A to F scale and then give me a negative 100? I mean, I guess it makes sense.
Well,
but
yeah, you can't. I can't give you a negative A.
you give me an F minus.
Did you just give me an A minus? No, sir, that's a negative A.
That's a negative A.
You're at the bottom of the top. You're at the top of the bottom.
Look,
What? Are you okay? No, I'm having a mild stroke.
I know T-Revs intimately. Those are my pills.